Okay, so please raise your hand if you have any presentations. All the people, please raise your hand if you have presentation. Just wait for 1 minute, then we'll start. We'll start with Vijay. Please share your screen and turn your camera.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, just a sec.
Sure.
Sir, is the screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah. So, hello, good evening, everybody. My name is C. Vijay Reddy. I'm from Manipal University. I have joined Hackveda internship for the domain in Python programming. So the project, the task which was assigned for me was Hackveda Office Python scripts. The task given for me was to develop Hackveda business operation scripts in Python. So basically, this task was divided into two parts, which was to build a web crawler and to build an SMTP, that is mail transfer, automatic mail transfer using Python programming. So let's know about let's know about web crawler. So this web crawler has various applications. It helps to search keyword-based. It helps to collect data from specific websites using keyword-based searches relevant to the information which you have given to the Python program as an input. The modules which I have used to create this web crawler is request module which will help for the live HTTP requests, and pandas, JSON, and datetime, which will help in JSON will help in to JSON helps for representing the output which we have got, and for this we will need to create a custom Google search. So for this, custom Google search, which is the URL given here, we have to add an API, external API, which we have to create. So the use cases are, what are the uses of this web crawler is that it collects and organizes information from multiple websites. It helps in analyzing market trends, custom options, and competitors analysis. It helps in creating question sets for AI training and sentimental analysis and SEO optimization. SEO optimization is search engine optimization, which helps in identifying relevant keywords and analyze search rankings. So difficulties in this projects, what we have to be careful while doing this project is that we have to be careful about the API integration so that we don't get any other, illegal APIs or which may harm our computer. And handling the rate limits. These APIs have a rate limit for which you have a limited number of searches which you can use for searching. Partial response means basically the output in starting is given in JSON format, which we will not able to read if we try to understand it. So it helps in placing it in a format such that we can understand what the output is. And paging, if we have more than 10 or 12 information from the output, it has been divided in the form of pages and error handling. Let me show you my code here. Just a sec. Sir, is my code visible?
Yes, okay, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm running the code. Here I'm importing my modules which I will use in this. So here we are going to add input a word which we will search. Let's say Python questions. And yeah, so it's enough. We got the information from the web crawler. Basically, it searched from the specified website which I have given here, the Quora and Reddit. We can also save this questions which we have searched. See, we can see it has been saved. It has been divided into 2 pages because it has more than 10 questions searched. And coming back to, yeah. So now potential improvements in the web crawler is that we can create a login mechanism to track the crawler's activity regarding which website it has searched previously and what type of content it has searched. And data storage, we just now, as I have created the CSV file to store that information, like that we can make some more improvements in the formatting as such, and parallel processing. We can speed up the process by adding multiple crawlers so that we can search about multiple information. And advanced filtering, like most ask questions such that, and user interface, friendly user interface. Yeah. And this is the second part, which email automation in Python. So we'll use this to send automated emails using Python scripting, saves time and effort by automated emails. So the libraries and modules used here are the SMTP lib, which is used for mail transferring. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and this MIME text and MIME multipart helps in adding information to your mail, such as subject, from, to, and the attachments you can add to the subject while sending the mail in an automated format. And as you can see, the use cases are sending automated reports or notification, delivering personalized content, sending reminders or alert for upcoming events, sharing automated data summaries or analyzing results. So difficulties in this project are SMTP configuration, setting up the correct port and the server to send our data is mandatory. And for authentications, the username and the given password to log into your email automatically and send it to the and to share your email to the other recipient. You can add you must check which attachment or files you are adding to your email. And code explanation, I'll just show how does it work. So this is just a sample code which I have used. So here, sorry. So here is showing that the mail has been sent successfully from this. Let me show you my. So here is the mail which it has been sent. I have another code where just now we have searched few results, right? That information will be shared to my mail, which I have been stored. So here I have to type my mail. So it has shown process has been completed. See, here is the list which we previously searched from the web crawler, and it has been sent to our mail using the SMTP protocol, which we have created from Python. Sorry. And potential improvements are we could create a reusable email templates with placeholders for dynamic content and personalize our list for the recipient's specific information, and scheduling the email so that you don't have to worry whether the email has been sent by you or not. You could just automate the time and date how to which recipient you have to send the mail, and it will automatically send your mail. So how does this both help? How does the web crawler and simple mail SMTP help in digital marketing? So here it helps in the web crawler helps in helps the marketers to make informed decisions and develop effective strategies, and automated mails helps in saving the time for the marketers. Sorry. These are the references which I have used to build this project. And if you have any questions, you can contact me through my mail, which is given here, chimalavijay@gmail.com. So thank you. Sir, I'm done.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation. Okay, see, your presentation started really well. Okay, you did try to explain a lot of things, and I could understand that you did try to explain. Okay, but it becomes quite hard when it is your first time presenting right on a topic like this. So what I would recommend you is next time try to make a script and then follow that script, right? Because there were a lot of things that I could see you were trying to explain, but you keep forgetting them in between, right? So that is simply because you didn't have a script that you can follow. And also try to make a scenario type presentation. So what they will do is they will lay out a story that you and your viewers both of them can follow, right?
Okay.
That will become much easier for you to explain. Let us say, if I tell you to memorize an answer, you will not be able to memorize it. Like, let us say if I just tell you to memorize computer architecture chapter number 3, you will not be able to memorize it, right? But if I tell you to listen to this story and tell me what you understood, you will be able to tell me the story, right?
Yes.
So try to make your presentation like that. It will make it much easier for you to explain. Second of all, your PPT can be improved in terms of both formatting as well as content. See, content was really fine, okay, but I believe it lacked some more content, right? We need some more content because
Okay.
there were 3 different subtasks, right? So based on
Yeah.
that, it looked quite small.
Okay.
Other than that, see, your ending was quite rushed. So work on that. It is okay. If you forget it, no problem. But next time, I want improvement on that. Your
Sure.
demo was fine. Okay, it was really well explained demo. But again, it can be improved. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
work
sir.
on that. Other than that, it was fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, can I leave?
Yeah, sure. You are free to leave.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then we'll move on to Ananya Mishra. Can you tell me the name of your task?
Okay. Sir, is my PPT visible?
It is loading.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ananya Mishra, and I'm an intern in Python programming domain. So today I will be presenting my first task.
Ananya, it is still not visible. Yes, correct. It says Ananya Mishra has started screen sharing, but other than that, it is not. Can you reshare the screen?
Okay, sir. So is it visible now?
Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ananya Mishra, and I'm an intern in Python programming domain. So today I will be presenting you all my first task, which is to develop Hackveda business operation scripts in Python. Under this task, we were given two tasks. First was to develop Google crawler for digital marketing, and second, sending email using Google SMTP. The first is to develop Google crawler for digital marketing. The contents we are going to discuss are introduction of Google crawler, its module and its working, benefits of Google crawler in digital marketing, and then the code and its output. First, introduction. So Google crawler is a computer program that's used to search and automatically index website content and other information over the internet. It is basically used for building Google search indices and perform other product specific crawls. Google crawler contains three modules: Python scripts, Google APIs, and websites. Working of Google crawler. So basically the query is inserted in Python script, and this query is sent to Google APIs using an authentication token. The websites are basically used to fetch informations that we require according to the query. So these informations are then sent to the Google APIs, and the responses from the Google APIs is visualized in tabular format using data frames. So data frames are basically two-dimensional mutable data structures which are used to convert responses in tabular format. Second, here I have mentioned three basic benefits of Google crawler in digital marketing. First is monitoring the news and social media. So Google crawler help in reviewing industry forums. Now the second is competitive information. Google crawler help in searching competition to review pricing. It also helps concentrate more on analyzing data than finding it, as it helps us to fetch information through crawling. Third is target list. It helps crawl target website that provide relevant company listings to pull out information. So now we will see its code and its output. So this is my code for Google crawler. Here I have used 4 libraries. Let's see the working of this library. So the request library, which is the first library, is used for HTTP request in Python. The second library is pandas, which is used to represent responses in tabular format, again with use of data frames. Now the third library is JSON, which is used for data representation during transmission. Now, fourth library is date time, which is basically used for date management, as when we have to input a date related query. Now let's see the code. Here first I have taken an empty list, which is the questions list, in which we are going to append all the responses we are going to get. Second, I have taken an input keyword, which is basically we are going to write a query and then the Google API will fetch all the informations. Third, I have taken a list of the most famous websites that people tend to search with. Here I have taken Quora and Reddit. Then I have iterated through these lists to fetch information. In the Google URL, we have taken the API key and along with its CX. Here and Q is basically used to fetch the query. Now we are getting the responses with the help of the request library, and here, as we know that we are getting the responses in a string format, so we have to convert it into Python or into JSON object here. So for that we have used the JSON libraries here, which can also help us to find different keys like search time, total results. Okay, now here I have taken an exception, as if for a situation when we have to search for a query which is not available over the internet. So we will print exception in that case. And here I have iterated through the JSON responses and then appended it in the questions list, which we have taken before. Now here we have converted the question list into a tabular format. So if I run this code, and I write the keyword like Java questions. I'm going to get all the Java questions available, and I can also convert it into a tabular format, as you can see. Now continuing with our presentation. The second subtask was sending email using SMTP. The contents we are going to discuss is what is SMTP, its working, benefits of using SMTP, and the code and its output. So what is SMTP? SMTP SMTP is stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is basically used for just sending and receiving emails. Working of SMTP. So the four main components which is required in the working of SMTP is the sender, internet, mail server, and the receiver. So the sender processes all the data or prepares all the email or the message we have to send, then send it to the mail server across the network with the help of internet. And from the mail server, the message or the information is then sent to the receiver. Now, benefits of using SMTP. So here I have listed 4 basic benefits of using SMTP. First is SMTP supports both inbound and outbound email delivery. So inbound SMTP is basically used to accept emails from the domains which are specified by the users, while it is vice versa and outbound, which accepts email from all domains. SMTP is reliable and it supports quick email delivery. It is low cost and has extended area coverage. The users can also have a dedicated service if needed. Now we will see its code and its output. So this is the code of my sending email using SMTP. Here, first we have taken all these libraries. SMTP is used for setting up an SMTP connection for sending or receiving emails. MIME multipart is basically used to have emails with multipart, like more than one part. MIME text is used for adding HTML to the emails. See, here is my mail content. Here this is the mail content. And now here I have mentioned the sender's address, sender's password, and receiver's password. The sender's password we have generated. It is unique for every email address. Now, here I have mentioned the sender address as the sender of the email and the receiver of the email, and also the subject. Here I have created an email with a subject information about internship program. Now we have attached this mail content into the message, as it has only it is an only text, so it is mentioned as plain. Now here we have mentioned the server address, which is smtp.gmail.com, and server's port, which is mainly 587. Now here we have printed mail sent, which will be printed every time the mail is sent. Now if I run the code, so I can see the mail is sent. Now so we can see I've got the mail with the same content that I have sent it. So in conclusion, we get that both Google crawler and SMTP has its own benefits. Google crawler helps scroll website by following link from one page to another, and emails help us send transactional emails, and SMTP helps send transactional emails and integrate easily with our email API. Both the method provide us a set of tools for improving our online presence. Thank you.
I hope your presentation is done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, can you show me your Q&A slide?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you repeat?
Your Q&A slide.
Yes, sir, I showed.
Show me just a second.
Sir, should I share my screen again?
Yeah. Just a second. I just wanted to know your email. Okay, fine. Now I just. Okay, see, your presentation was really well done. Okay, your explanation was on point, but I think your story can be improved. See, PPT is also really well made, but I believe the content can be improved, such as I believe your conclusion was heavily like it was more towards the SMTP and it lacked the Google Cloud information. Okay, so your conclusion can be improved. Other things such as your demonstration was really well made. But what I would recommend you is next time when you have like a lot of code that you want to explain, you can add flowcharts. Okay, so flowcharts will be much easier for you to explain, as well as when your viewers are looking at it, they will be easy, they can easily follow the flowcharts and understand the entire thing. Okay, so that will be one thing that I would recommend you. Other than that, see, your explanation was really well done. So even without flowchart, it was really well explained. Okay, so good job on that one.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Probably Pangutra, we will go in order of rates set. Okay. And I believe you didn't join at 7 p.m. So at the bottom of your screen, just before the taskbar, you can see the reaction button. Click on reaction. You will find the raise hand option. And Gopal, do one thing, forward all the mails to my email. I will help you with the, if you don't understand it, I will write an email to you, whatever. My email is please. Yeah, please forward your mails to my email. Okay, I will check out your emails and then I will message you back. Okay, on the email itself. Okay, just forward it. I will look into it and email you by tomorrow or by tonight. Okay, then moving on to Arpit Goswami.
So is my PPT visible?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. I am Arpit Goswami from Manipal Institute of Technology, and my task is Doctor Search website. First, I will start with the introduction and the requirements it needs to fulfill. After that, I will talk about all the steps that I use to create the website, and then ultimately show the live demo. And also, I'll talk about some of the limitations and future work that the project requires. This website serves the vital purpose of connecting users with the right doctors based on specific categories and location requirements. It is important to understand the significance of easily accessible and reliable healthcare information. The goal is to simplify the process of finding a trusted and qualified doctor, empowering users to make informed decisions about their healthcare. Now we'll talk about the roadmap that I followed. First, I selected a template to work on, and then I used Figma to design the website and create the layout. Figma plugins like Locofy were used to convert the designs into HTML and CSS code. Next, I created a database and web services in the backend, and ultimately integrated the backend with the front end. I also used Postman to perform backend web services testing. And at the end, I hosted it in a publicly available web platform. This is the initial layout of the website. The template was selected from UpLabs, which offers various designs and templates to choose from. Figma was used to design the template as it helps in generating design ideas quickly and also facilitates better communication with the clients. Locofy was used to convert the design created in Figma into HTML and CSS code. It helps in reducing the development time. This is the workflow of the project. After users enter their details in the search, first of all, users will enter their details in the search area. After that, a request will be sent to the backend through jQuery. And then the backend will fetch the data from the MySQL database, and the same process will repeat, and the data will be displayed in the user area. For the backend, PHP is used to create web services, and jQuery is used to create connect with the front end. This allows for the exchange of data between the server and the client. PHP was chosen because it provides a simple syntax, and also it provides a seamless integration with the database and also with HTML. And jQuery simplifies client-side scripting, and also it facilitates AJAX request. AJAX means asynchronous JavaScript and XML request, which means that you can retrieve data without fully loading the page. So MySQL provides a reliable and efficient way to manage and store data securely. It allows us to create tables and establish relations between them, enabling execution of queries like insert, update, delete, etc. MySQL also allows us to execute SQL queries from PHP. So this is the database of our website. We have 6 columns, which are also called attributes. Here, ID is the primary key, which has to be unique, and also it cannot be null. Here is the doctor name and the information of the doctor, like how much experience every doctor has, the location of the doctor, and also we will have a URL containing the path of the image. And here we will have the specialization of every doctor. Postman. Postman is used for backend web services testing. It provides a user-friendly interface for sending HTTP requests, making it easier to interact with web services. For our website, which relies on APIs to fetch data, Postman allows us to test these APIs by sending different types of requests, such as get, post, put, or delete directly from its interface. Postman also captures the responses from the API and displays them in a clear and organized manner. If this allows us to verify if the API is returning the expected data, it helps to identify if there are any errors in the API functioning. For hosting, I used 000 web host. It is a hosting platform that allows us to make our website accessible to the public. Once we have created our website, we need to place to host it so that people can visit and use it. To upload, it allows us to upload our website files to their servers, which are connected to the internet, making our website available online. This ensures that our website is always accessible to the users, regardless of their location or device. It takes care of the technical aspects of hosting, such as server management, security, and all uptime. So we can focus on building and developing our website. It also supports deployment of PHP and MySQL databases, which are essential components of our project. This means that we can deploy our PHP code and connect it to a MySQL database seamlessly, ensuring that our website functions as intended. So now I'll show the demo of the project. This is the link of the website, and this is the link to the GitHub repository. So this is the website. This is the nav bar, and this is the search area, and these are some additional informations of the website. So if you search for physician, you will have two options, and if you put like Delhi, then you will have one. If there are no doctors available by the desired selected values, then it will display no doctor found in your area. And if you want to see everyone, then these are all the doctors. So there's also some limitations to the project, like the accuracy of the information relies on the data available in our database, and also there are some geographic limitations too, like the website focuses on a specific region or location. If there are some users outside of that area, then it will provide like inaccurate or not relevant results. There are also some security considerations, like the website will contain some doctors' data, which has to be like secured. We can also put some future work, like we can add a personalized user accounts. We can create a appointment booking system where the patients can schedule appointments with doctor, and also we can add a user reviews and rating system. In conclusion, I have successfully deployed a doctor search website using a well-designed front-end interface. I have used backend functionalities using PHP and integrating with MySQL database, and using tools like Postman for testing, which creates a seamless user experience. Ultimately, hosting the website on a web host has allowed us to deploy the PHP code and MySQL database, ensuring a public access and a smooth user experience. This project showcases our ability to develop a user-friendly and efficient platform for finding the right healthcare professional. These are the references that I used. Thank you, and feel free to ask any questions.
Okay, so I hope your presentation is done.
Yes.
Yeah. See, your presentation was okay. It was laid out really well. Okay, delivery was good. But you need to work on your expression skill, because most of the time it look like you are mostly reading from the slide. Okay, so try to minimize the content that you have. Like in conclusion slide, there is a huge chunk of paragraph. So instead of paragraph, turn it into points, and then you can add notes and read it from there. But it is not good if it looks like you are reading from the slide, right? So work on that part. Also, your story can be improved. Okay, overall, the story, the start looked really rushed. Okay, you just totally went on to explain the HTML, Postman, and other things. So take your time, explain the task introduction, give your introduction. Okay, it was okay, but task introduction needs some work, and then you can move on to the actual builder, right? So that will be much more preferable. It will look much better. Your demo was well done. Okay, but when you are explaining the demo, when you are showing your website, try to explain the components and content that you have in your website, right? You did explain that when you enter the input and then I am getting this output, but that is just not enough. You need to explain it more in depth, right? So other than that, it was fine. Content was really great in your property. So keep up with that too. Okay, so, if you are done, then you will stop this question. Okay, you have stopped. Then we will move on to Gayatri.
So 1 second, sir.
Yeah, sure. Can you tell me the name of your task?
About the project's internship curriculum.
Okay, sure.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, I am Gayatri.
Sorry, but your screen is not sharing. Can you reshare? Share again.
So, is my screen visible?
No,
Hello,
I can only see a blank screen.
sir.
I can only see a blank screen. Please share again.
Okay, sir. Sir, is my screen visible now?
No, it is still not visible. It says Gayatri Vardhan has started screen sharing, but that's it. It is
Sir,
blank
no.
screen. It is loading. It is not showing the screen. Okay. Uh,
Sir, now?
Try sharing your entire screen once, or just one window, like a
Sir, is it visible now?
This is all I can say. I'm sending in the chat.
Yes.
You may have some internet issue. Okay, try fixing that.
So, 1 minute, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to next one. I will come back to you after this one. Okay. Shivanshu Saini.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. maybe.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yeah. What is the name of your task?
My task is exploratory data analysis.
Yeah, sure. You can share this.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Give me please 1 minute.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Mhm. Sir, 1 minute, sir. This is a technical problem. That's good.
Okay. You can solve
Sir,
it.
I will start.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, my screen is visible now?
Yeah.
So, Good evening, everyone. I am Shivanshu Saini, and my topic is Chaturvedi data analysis. Now let's get started. Let's- My task is to perform exploratory data analysis on a given data set to gain insights into data and identify patterns and trends and anomalies. Now, the question comes here is, what is exploratory data analysis? What is EDA? EDA is a crucial step in data analysis that involves investigating and understanding the data set before performing further analysis or modeling. It helps in uncovering the trends and anomalies within the data and providing valuable insights for decision making. The purpose of exploratory data analysis is to gain a better and deeper understanding of data set and its characteristics. And by exploring data, we can identify important variables, detect outliers, and determine relationships between variables. EDA plays a vital role in guiding subsequent analysis and modeling steps. Now, the dataset which is provided to me is grade card dataset, and its overview is the dataset consists of 2,84,807 transactions, out of which 492 transactions are fraud. It included transformed numerical variables V1 to V28 and that have undergone principal component analysis (PCA) as well as time and amount features. Understanding the characteristic and composition data set is very crucial for effective data exploration and data analysis. Now comes here is class distribution. Analyzing the class distribution is crucial, especially in cases of imbalanced data set. In our data set, the class distribution reveals a significant class imbalance. As you can see, the normal cases are very much and the fraud cases are very few. This imbalance can impact the performance of our analysis and modeling techniques, requiring a careful consideration in EDA. Now transaction amount analysis. Analyzing the transaction amount provides insights into spending patterns for fraud and normal transaction. Descriptive statistics such as average, minimum, and maximum transaction amount help us to understand the range and distribution of transaction values. Comparing the transaction amount between fraud and normal transaction using histograms allows us to identify potential differences and anomalies. Now, time of transaction analysis. Examining the time of transaction can reveal temporal patterns and potential anomalies. Plotting the relationship between the time of transaction and transaction amount for fraud and normal transaction helps us to understand if there are specific time frames associated with fraud activities. Identifying any temporal patterns can aid in developing effective strategies for fraud detection and prevention. Now, feature correlation. Now the question comes here is what is mean by correlation? Correlation analysis helps in us in understanding relationship between variables in dataset. By calculating correlation coefficient, we can determine the strength and direction of relationships. Heat map visualization is used to represent the correlation matrix and highlighting the patterns and oscillations. The green color here represent the correlation is very high, means the features are too much related to each other, and the red color shows there is very least correlation, but these are very less correlated. Now, anomaly detection algorithm. To detect anomalies in our dataset, we employ various anomaly detection algorithms during an analysis. These algorithms include isolation forest, location outlier factor, support vector machine. Each algorithm has its strengths and limitations, and evaluating their performance helps us to determine whether the most suitable approach for detecting fraud transactions. Now, the isolation forest algorithm is based on the concept that anomalies are data points that are few and different from the majority. It isolates observations by randomly selecting features and split values, calculating an anomaly score based on number of conditions required to isolate an observation. The isolation forest algorithm provides a powerful approach for identifying anomalies and has shown a promising result in various applications. Now the location outlier factor algorithm is an unsupervised algorithm used for outlier detection. It computes the local density deviation of a data point with respect to its neighbor. Outlier samples have substantially lower density than their neighbor, indicating their anomaly nature. The LOF algorithm, that is local outlier factor algorithm, is effective in identifying outliers that may represent fraud transaction in a dataset. Now the last one is support vector machine. Support vector machine is a supervised algorithm. In our case, a one class SVM is employed For outlier detection, separating data points from the origin in a high-dimensional feature space. SVM algorithm helps in identifying data point that deviate significantly from the norm, potentially indicating fraud transactions. Now, model evaluation metrics. To assess the performance of our anomaly detection algorithm, we use evaluation metrics. The evaluation metrics include precision, recall, F1 score, and support. Precision represents the ratio of true positive predictions to total predictive positives. Recall, that is also known as sensitivity, measures the ratio of true positive predictions to actual positives. F1 score is the harmonic mean of precision and recall, providing a balanced measure of model performance. And support indicates the number of samples in each case. Now, the result of isolation forest algorithm is precision is 0.28, recall is 0.51, F1 score is 0.36, and support is 97. The result for local outlier factor is precision 0.07, recall 0.38, F1 score 0.12, and support is 97. And the result for SVM, support vector machine, is precision 0.04, recall 0.59, F1 score 0.08, and support 97. Based on our evaluation, the isolation forest algorithm shows the best performance in detecting credit card fraud. It achieves a higher precision, recall, and F1 score compared to LOF and SVM algorithms. However, further improvement can be made by fine-tuning the model parameters and exploring other anomaly detection algorithms. Now, let us first see the code now. One moment. This is my Jupyter notebook. First of all, I have written the context, then the content. This basically talks about a data set, then the inspiration, then acknowledgements. Then I have imported all the important libraries. Here I will run the code. First, I have imported NumPy, which is multidimensional arrays, pandas to represent data in a tabular form, in species, sklearns to sklearn where all the matrices are given, and all the models as SVM, local factor, and isolation forest algorithms are given. Now, first we will read the data set using pandas library, and data.head is used to show the first 5 rows of the data set. And here's the result. Here we can see there is a time feature and V1 to V28 features, amount, and class. Class 0 means this is normal, and 1 means there is fraud. And now data.source information shows the various information about the various features of the data set. So here we can see this non-null, count, data type. This means data type of the creatures. Now started expert data analysis. First of all, we will see is there any null value present in any of the features. Now run this class. This is false. False means there is no null value present in any of the features. Now first we will draw a graph between class and frequency to see how much transactions are normal, how much transactions are fraud. So this is the graph which is plotted between frequency and class. They are two classes, normal and fraud. And fraud, you can see there are very few cases of fraud, and normal cases are too much. Now we will get how many are frauds and how many are normal rows and columns. Here you can see I will print fraud shape. Here fraud.shape means it will give the rows and columns of how many rows are frauds and how many rows are normal. Here we can see 492 rows and 31 columns, as there are the 31 features there. 492 columns, 492 rows are fraud, and 284,315 rows are normal. Now we will describe the fraud amount, and this is all the statistics about the fraud amount, and this is about all the statistics about normal amount. Now we will plot a graph between amount by transaction by class. Now here we can see two graphs. One is fraud amount per transaction by class fraud and amount per transaction by class normal. Here are the results. Now we will see time of transaction by versus amount by class. Okay, there is some friction. No. Here is sample of data. We have taken data.sample, data.shape, and here is data.shape. Here the first x coordinate shows the number of rows and y coordinate shows number of columns. Now we go to the correlation to show the correlation between various features. Here we can see the ones on every diagonal because V1 feature is correlated with V1 feature because it is V1 only, and V2 the V2, and others we can see how much the correlation is between there, and it is the heat map scale. Now the model prediction, and I have given some information about isolation forest algorithm and local outlier factor algorithm. Then we are at the type of classifiers. Then I have used various algorithms, and I have done the classification metrics for all of them. Here is the result for them: precision, recall, F1 score, and support. And here the observation. Observation is isolation forest detected 73 errors versus local outlier detecting 97 errors versus SVM detecting 8,516 errors. Iceland forest has 99.74% more accurate than LOF of 99.65 and SVM of 70.09. When comparing air precision and recall for three models, the isolation forest performed much better than LOF and the SVM. So overall isolation forest method performed much better in determining the fraud case, which is around 30. Now go to the conclusion part. Now, the conclusion: EDA helped us to gain a deeper understanding of the credit card dataset and its statuses. We identified patterns, trends, anomalies within the data, providing valuable insights for decision making. Dataset is highly imbalanced, with fraud class accounting for only a small fraction of all transactions. The average transaction amount of fraudulent transaction is $122.211, while for normal transaction is 88.29. Isolation forest algorithm shows the best overall performance in detecting credit card fraud. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me on my at my mail ID shivanshusaini216@gmail.com. And thank you all for your attention.
I hope your presentation is done.
Yes.
Okay. See, start was great this time. Okay, explanation was also on point, but again, study can again improve. Okay, because when you are explaining something like an EDA, try to make a presentation like explaining about your data set and then what you are trying to actually find. Right, in your task itself, we can see in your code you have multiple type of charts, you have multiple type of statistics, but do you actually need them? Right, you have find mean or something in between, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so do you actually need it?
Yes, sir. I have need to identify we have to look at every aspects of the data. For
But
data analysis, we have.
what does it help me? How does it help me? Why do we
Sir,
actually need that? So how does
Sir,
me getting the mean of that data help me?
sir, by the help of functions, I have used many functions.
No, if you have find the mean, right? So
So it
what's
is the statistics of the various data of the
So-
class fraud and class.
yeah, why you are
mm.
finding it?
Sir, I have to look how much amount for fraud detection and normal transaction.
So
And when
how
we are
does
looking at the
yeah,
amount, but if we have find it the mean transaction for normal transaction, and I have find it mean transaction for fraud cases. So this will have some patterns, and these patterns help in data analysis. So in the expert data analysis, it is very much needed to need about the average, mean, median. You have to see all the cases. You can identify some patterns.
that is what I am trying to say. See, when you explain it like that, it makes sense, right?
Yes.
So people who are watching it, they will know like why you are finding mean, why you are finding different type of chart, right? It is different than explaining the code. What you did was you explained the code, but you couldn't explain your task. Okay, there is difference between two. You did your task, but you couldn't explain it. But your code explanation was on point. You understood it, you delivered it really well. But with respect to your task, it wasn't really well explained, right? You had lot of heat maps, but the heat map you didn't really explain it. You said this is heat map scale, and then you want to next stop, right? So what's the point of finding that heat map? What's the point of having the scatter plot or line plot or bar chart, right? You need to explain these things. The point of EDA is to explain what your thought process is, and based on that thought process, what you have done, right? If I just tell someone to do a EDA, what they can do is they can go on internet and then get a code and perform it, right? They just need to change the data set. There are codes where I can just find chart or mean or something. Everything is inbuilt in Python, right? There are functions that are inbuilt to find means and the quartiles and everything, right? But what's the point of it? Why we are doing it, and where you are trying to go with the entire process? That is what you need to explain. And if you are able to explain that to me clearly, then I will know that yes, you know your task and you know data analysis, right? So you explained the code, but it wasn't up to the level where I was expecting it. Okay, so work on your project demonstration skill. Expression skills are good, but the story skills can be improved, right? So story, let us say, start by explaining the task introduction and then move on to give a scenario based on that. Or you can also like, say what your findings at the start, like what are your observation, and then you can explain your code in such a way that I need to do this to reach that point of observation. Right. So let us say if I got observation one, then what I need to do to get that observation one. Okay. If I already know what your code is, then I might look at the code to find out how you actually did it. Right. That is one of a way to create a hook and story. Okay, but there are many ways. That is up to you, your creativity. So you can improve on that. See, your expression skills have improved. So now work on your story skills. Other than that, it is okay. And presentation, project demonstration skill, as you perform more presentation, they will improve on their own. Okay, as you get a hang of it, you will be able to do it. Okay, so work on that. Other than that, it was well done. You have improved your expression skill. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, then Gayatri, I hope now your research solved.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it visible now?
No, still same. The screenshot I have sent you in the chat, it is same as that. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah, you can start.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, I'm Gayatri Baratam. Uh, my my assigned project is design data science solutions on Azure for a stock market investing business. My task name is Internship Curriculum. These are the contents we are going to discuss in this PPT. Introduction to Azure Data Science Solutions. Here, uh, firstly, we should discuss about the introduction about cloud computing and Azure. Cloud computing is the delivery of the computing services. It involves the delivering the hosting services over the internet. Whereas Azure is one of the example of the cloud computing, which is developed by the Microsoft. These 5 features are the common for the both Azure and the cloud computing. Scalability. It enables the scaling of the computing resources to meet the changing demands. Whereas flexibility, the cloud computing provide flexibility in terms of infrastructure and development models. Whereas efficiency, this is the common feature for the both cloud computing and Azure. Security. It provides a security reliability. Azure operates on a global network of data centers and ensures the high availability and reliability. As we all know that the data science having the wide range of applications in many fields, and coming to the applications in the stock market, these are the applications: predictive modeling, algorithmic trading, sentiment analysis, and portfolio risk management and high frequency trading. Coming to the predictive modeling, it predicts the model using the historical stock market data, whereas the algorithmic trading, the trading decisions are automatically based on the predefined rules, whereas the sentiment analysis, it analyzes the social media feed, news, and the past experience. Based on that, it provides the information to the investors. The portfolio optimization, it gives the information about the previous data. It helps to investors to know about the present, the stock, when to invest and when not to invest. The risk management, it tells the investors to uh, invest the amount based on the risk. The high frequency trade is, it relies on the analysis of the large volume of the market data in real time. These are the key features of the Azure Machine Learning Studio. First, the drag and drop interface. It allows the users to create the machine learning workflows by dragging and dropping the pre-built modules. These pre-built modules covers the various tasks, including the data, pre-processing, feature engineering, etc. Modules are combined to create a complex machine learning pipelines. Uh, Data preparation. It provides a set of the data preparation modules for the task. Whereas the model training and evolution, it supports the variety of the machine learning algorithms like classification, regression, and clustering. Model deployment. It allows the users to deploy trained models as web services. Integration with Azure services. Integrates with other Azure services such as the Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Storage. Automated machine learning. It automates the process of the machine learning selection. It helps accelerate the model. Whereas the notebook integration, users can utilize the Jupyter notebooks within Azure Machine Learning Studio. Scalability and collaboration. It supports the collaboration among the team members and allows the multiple users to work under the same project. These are the algorithms that we can use on this data science on the application of the stock market. Linear regression. Is used for the modeling the relationship between the dependent variable and one or more independent variables. A time series analysis. It used to analyze the historical stock price data and identify the patterns, trends, etc. Classification algorithm. It's used to classify the stocks into categories based on the historical data. Clustering algorithm. It is used to identify the stocks with the similar characteristics. Neural networks. It's a basic. It's the CNN algorithm used for the tasks like sentiment analysis of the news articles or the social media data. Reinforcement learning, use it to optimize the trading strategies by learning from the historical stock prices. Assemble method. In this method, is used for the stock price prediction accuracy. Uh, the data acquisition and preparation shows that it having the various Azure Data Factory and Event Hubs. Firstly, we have to set up the Azure Data Factory in the Azure portal of Microsoft. Then we have to define the linked services such as Azure Blob Storage, Azure SQL database, create data pipelines. These pipelines are used to transfer the information from the internet and IoT cloud storage. Information is passed through this uh, Azure Blob Storage. Use copy data. It is used to acquire the data from the various sources, so we can copy the data activity within our data pipeline. Set scheduling and triggers. It configures the scheduling options for your data pipelines to specify how frequently the data wants to transfer. Acquiring data from the event hubs. We can use the Azure Data Factory Events Hubs connector for monitoring and troubleshooting. It provides the monitoring and logging capability to track the execution of the data pipelines, monitoring the data movement, and the other troubleshooting issues. Here, cleaning and preparing data using Azure Databricks and Synapse Analytics. First, we have to, in the Azure portal, we have to set up the Azure Databricks. Then, after creating that, we have to create a Databricks notebook. It is used to write and execute the clean code connecting to the data sources. Using the Azure Databricks, we have to establish the connection to our data sources. Data cleaning, to clean and transform your data cleaning is used. Data transformation, it performs the data transformation as needed for the specific user cases. Data validation, it validates the clean data and transform data, ensures quality and accuracy. Explore data and visualize data. Here, to explore and visualize the clean data, it utilizes the Databricks interactive visualization like Matplotlib, data storage and integration. It is used for the clean data storage, and it is integrated with the Azure Synapse and Analytics. Data analysis and modeling. Here, data modeling using the Azure Machine Learning Studio. First, we have to, here we can build models using the Azure Machine Learning and Databricks. Both the processes are almost same. We are using different setups like Azure Machine Learning and Databricks. First, we have to create the Azure Machine Learning in the Azure portal. Then we have to create an experiment. We have to connect to all the data resources, the data preparation and the feature extraction from all the cloud information, and the Google Blobs, Azure Blob storage. It's used to select, and we have to select and configure the model. Then after, we have to train and evaluate. This model is tuned, and the model is deployed. Uh, this process is same is used in the Databricks, but here we are creating the Databricks portal. The Databricks notebook is used, and it's connected to all the data resources, and the data preparation is done, model selection and training is done, model evaluation, tuning, and the model is deployed. Model evaluation and validation techniques. Train and split. Here the data is trained and splitted. The data is splitted into several parts so that some part of the data can be trained and other part should be tested. K-fold cross validation. Here the data is divided into K groups of equal sizes. Based on the groups, each training and testing takes place. Stratified cross validation. In this, the data having the uneven distribution of the data is trained according to that. Hold out validation. Here, the separate validation set distinct between the both training and the data sets. These are the other models which are used for the validation techniques and the model evaluation. Deployment and visualization. Here, first, after the process, the data, all the process regarding the data are done. Here we have to prepare a model, and after that we have to create Azure App Service. The model is deployed to the Azure App Service. Then we have to configure the app service. At the endpoint, we have to rest the model. Then after, we have to set up the Azure API management, and we have to import and configure the APIs from the Azure portal, and we have to publish and secure, and at last we have to monitor and scale the Azure App Service. Here we are creating the dashboards and reporting to the Azure Power BI. We have to set up Power BI connected to the data resource, and after importing all the data resources, we have to transform and clean the data. After creating the report, we have to customize the visual and formatting. After we are creating the dashboards, we have to share and collaborate. Here we can work on the project with other people. After that, at last, we have to schedule data refresh. In schedule data refresh, it is updated to the current data. This is the whole concept. First, in the cloud, we collect all the data from the IoT, events, and business app. Here, all the data goes into the Steam ingestion. Here, Stream ingestion means that it collects all the present data according to the present records. Azure Data Factory, it stores all the data. These all the data is stored into Azure Data Lake storage. Here, based on the Synapse Analytics and all the cleaning, after cleaning the data and using the Databricks and Azure ML, we after training and the testing all the data, we will be getting our real-time outputs. Uh, Designing the data science solution on Azure for the stock market, having the wide range of applications and many advantages. It supports the various aspects of the data science in the stock market. It's having the many capabilities like flexibility, security, reliability, scalability, and the performance. Coming to this project, having the wide future scope, advanced predictive models and the alternate data analysis. In advanced predictive models, by using the advanced machine learning algorithms and the deep learning architectures, we can capture the complex patterns, and it leads to improve the predictive accuracy. Whereas the alternative data analysis, the availability of the alternative data resources such as the satellite imagery, uh, it is used to influence the stock prices. These are the references I used. I used. Is there any questions? Thank you.
So I hope your presentation is done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, the presentation was a great one. Okay. Your overall script, I would say, is really great. Story can be improved. Your PPT was really well made. Okay. The PPT that you have created, the content was good. Although the formatting can be improved. Uh, Again, the conclusion can also be improved. And as for like, overall your presentation skill, so work on your presentation skill, because most of the time it look like you were like reading it from somewhere. It look more like reading a answer than a presentation. Okay, so work on that part. Work on your flow. If you work on your flow, your overall presentation will be much better. Other than that, it was fine. Okay, so you can stop this mention now. We will move on. Next is Kushagra Chaturvedi. Gayatri, please stop this mention.
Hello, sir. Am I visible?
Yeah, you can share this. Uh, is your task name develop future location prediction system?
Yes, sir. Okay. So, sir, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see. Then we'll start.
Okay. So, basically, good evening, everyone. My task name is Future Location Prediction System. And basically, the contents of this presentation here are: first is task description. Then I will be giving a literature review regarding this. Then the flow of the project. Then result and analysis. Afterwards, demo, conclusion, and then questions. Okay. So for the task description, what I have to do here was to develop a future location system, but I have to use data IKU. So data IKU is basically a data science a platform that provide us to apply various machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms, or analyze the data using data science studios. And using those tools, I have to develop this future location prediction system. So basically it was done in two parts. First, I have to set up DSS on AWS EC2 instance, and then use that data set provided to analyze and build the model. So then coming on to the literature review for the task. So basically future location prediction system, in this we have to predict the future location. Basically, let's assume that there is a journey here, and what we have available in the data here is that we have the starting location of the journey, and we have to predict the end location. And since it's a supervised learning task, we have the data for the available journeys, and we also have the journey timestamps. So basically that includes when did the journey started and when did the journey end. So those are the date variables. Then the target variable, as you already know, we have to predict the end destination here. Then the techniques that can be used to accomplish these tasks, basically there are various techniques that we can use here. So first of them are time series forecasting. So like if we have a historical data set, like an object's location with various timestamps that are provided. So we can, use the time series forecasting methods to predict the future location. Examples can be, ARIMA models or exponential smoothing, as they are, quite popular time series models. Then there's also trajectory predicting algorithms. So those algorithms, contain the past trajectory of the object, and we can use that trajectory to predict the future location. Examples include hidden Markov model or Kalman filters. Then we have machine learning algorithms that we can use. So basically machine learning techniques, regression or classification algorithms can also be used here. So they, predict future location based on the historical data set, like, geographical coordinates or timestamps, or, various other factors like weather or availability of, traffic, or many other form of data. Then the final, technique that which we can use here is spatial techniques. So spatial techniques include, spatial interpolation. We use, spatial data and interpolate using various other forms of spatial interpolation. So in this project, what we have to do here is use machine learning techniques, as the given data include, journeys, timestamps, and locations. So we use the machine learning techniques, and in the machine learning techniques, what we use here is lasso regression and XGBoost, basically. So now, what are the uses for future location prediction system? So we have to understand that future location prediction is quite important in the current, technology and current atmosphere here. So future location prediction has pretty simple uses here also. A few examples are like logistic and supply chain management. Basically, predicting future locations can help in, optimizing the supply chain management, and it enables efficient route planning here. So that is that. And by accurately, forecasting the future location, businesses can also reduce the transportation costs. So this is pretty, beneficial for them. Then there is transportation management also. We can use the future location of vehicles and fleets for that are crucial for transportation and fleet management companies also. So it can, allow for effective deploying of traffic and public services also, real time tracking and proactive maintenance scheduling also. So there's that. And emergency and urban development also. Urban development, as you know, we can predict future location to get the idea of where the, population will increase, or where the location is going on. So we can use that. And emergency management, as you can understand from the name, if we know the traffic management, we have the traffic management schedule, we have the, future location system, so we can improve upon our emergency management responses. And the personalized services also are included here. So we can, include this future location system so that we can improve our personalized systems, like a personal startups or companies, or like Zomato and other companies that use food delivery or other chains. Okay, so now the data set that is included here. So data set here includes 7 columns and 1537 rows. So as you can see here from the snap that I have included here, those 7 columns are ID, event time start, event time end. This event time start and end are journey timestamps basically, and latitude start and longitude starts are starting location, and latitude and longitude end are basically end destination here. So ID which is provided here is quite unique. It's basically a primary key. So it's unique for every journey. So it's not necessary in a model prediction at all. So we are excluding this ID, from any analysis and model building. And the source, as you all know, it was provided by Hackveda. Then lasso regression. So lasso regression basically stands for least absolute shrinkage and selection operation regression. So what lasso regression basically does is it acts as a linear regression with the least square which we have to optimize. but here we add an extra penalty. That penalty is also known as L1 norm or Manhattan norm. That are the famous terminologies for that. So this L1 norm that is added here as penalty, that is used to incorporate the regularization effect here in the model. This regularization can also be used for feature selection, as we can import and we can include only the relevant features that are there, and those features are used in the form of variable selection. And regularization has also another use, that is to reduce the complexity of the models, and it helps in preventing the overfitting that is generally faced here. So another part that is included here is the hyperparameter that is multiplied with the L1 norm. So that hyperparameter, we call it lambda. That lambda here is basically acts as a source to encourage this sparsity in the variables. Like we have various other variables that are affecting the model. So if we have a lambda, we can turn those variables towards zero so that we can include the sparsity. These variables that are turned towards zeros are irrelevant features that are there in the data. So that's how we include the selection of relevant features here. So larger the lambda, that is the hyperparameter, and more will be the sparsity that is included, and the more will be the more simpler the model will be here. Then as you can see, the lasso regression that was performed here, we can see here that we got a pretty low error, and the importance of features is also demonstrated here. Latitude start, that is the starting location of the latitude, that provides quite an importance towards the end result that we have. And while the rest of the three columns, rest of the three features don't provide importance there. So lasso regression has decrease the importance or decrease the factor that is affecting the model there for those variables. Fine. Then we have basically XGBoost. So XGBoost basically stands for extreme gradient boosting. So XGBoost is a form of gradient boosting, but it is optimized form of gradient boosting here. So what is gradient boosting? Gradient boosting is basically an ensemble method. What gradient boosting does is, it has various other trees, various other models, machine learning models. Generally, we include the decision trees there. We predict basically a simpler model. We initially take a simpler model. We predict predict a result. We get the error, and we feed that error to the next model. And similarly, a link is created between those models, and it's form of a sequential model that is formed here. So it implements the boosting concept of the ensemble methods. So gradient boosting is that, and extreme gradient boosting, that is XGBoost, that we have implemented here. It's basically an improved version of gradient boosting. Gradient boosting, because of the complexity and number of trees and number of the depth of the trees, often leads to overfitting. So XGBoost basically improves upon it by adding regularization parameters. Those regularization terms include L1 norm and L2 norm. Those are the standard regularization terms. So there is that, and XGBoost also includes handling of missing values. So it has the built-in feature here that handles the missing values, and tree pruning is also there. Basically, tree pruning is reducing the branches based on the gain. So when we implement XGBoost, we get several other metrics here, like gain and gamma, and those gain and gamma are basically what we get for after similarity score. So similarity score is basically the error that we obtain. Basically we get the terms and we use those terms in a complex formula that is related to L2 norm, and after getting the similarity scores, we create a metric so that we can get the gain out of various layers, and based on that gain we perform tree pruning. So tree pruning basically helps us in reducing the complexity of the trees, and thereby reducing the overfitting. So that is that. And then it also includes the cross validation, also parallel processing of trees here, so that it can include upon the efficiency and time that takes in gradient boosting. Okay, as you can see, it also kind of acted as a feature selection here also. So we get the latitude end here and error decile. So basically this error decile variable is what we get after performing the lasso regression. So after performing the lasso regression, we get this variable, and after getting this variable, that variable is also included in this XGBoost. And XGBoost is already a boosting algorithm, but if we consider this overall concept, where first we are forming lasso regression, and then this lasso regression error is also sent to XGBoost. So it's basically a boosting algorithm which is applied inside a boosting algorithm. So it kind of complexes the thing. So as you can see, this is the flow of the project that was there. So initially here the location data set that was provided. So first we got to prediction of destination latitude using lasso regression. After performing the lasso regression, we got the latitude of the destination, but we held on to predicting the longitude. For predicting the longitude, we used the predicted latitude and the error that we got from the predicted latitude and all the relevant features there, and we fed that data set to XGBoost, and then we got the ultimate final result of XGBoost and got the end longitude. Okay. So and above also we prepared a separate data set here so that we can experiment on various other models, excluding this ensemble technique that we developed of lasso and XGBoost. There we use various other models. So but those models didn't provide us with a good score here on test data, so we can't move forward with that. So yes, and then this is the result and analysis here. So this is the metric that we obtained after performing the lasso regression on to get the latitude here. So you can see here that the correlation coefficient is also quite high, and the efficiency is nearly 99%. So as you all know, we have a mean absolute error quite low, and efficiency is quite high. So it's sort of uh, this model is quite well built here for at least for getting the latitude. Then for getting the longitude here, we get quite high efficiency here also when we use XGBoost, and you can see the correlation coefficient is also high. So then again, this model is also quite well built, getting almost 99% accuracy on test data set is like a perfect model here. So then again, after performing this model, we also tested various other algorithms, and those algorithms at most give us the 89% accuracy. So you can see that we have got a pretty low accuracy on test data set when compared to previous 99 percent score that we were getting there. So we can say that these experimented models that are working on the data set are not that much efficient for this. Then let's go to the demo. As you can see that I have already started the EC2 instance here. So first I will go to the data IKU here. For going to the data IKU, I will enter the IP address. As you can see that I have already built up the model here, so I will just simply log in. You can see here the project for the future location prediction is already well built. Then we can go to the flow here. This is the flow that we have seen in the previous slides. So simply we can skip the explanation, and as you can see, this is the location data set that we were given. We can give a view here. This is the location data set that we were given here. So that is that. Then we can again go to the flow and experiment with the various other concepts here. Like this is the destination latitude model that was built here. So as you can see that destination regression, this is the snippet that was included there. We can go and also analyze the model that was built and see the metrics and assertion of various other features here. So there is that, and we can also, go to the uh, other models that were built here, like longitude prediction for using XGBoost, and that can also be analyzed. As you can see, again, we can get metrics and assertion here. We can get various other metrics that was obtained after performing the XGBoost. Then we can also, visit the experiment. This is the, location data set that was prepared for the experiment. So as you can see here, the start destination was here concatenated so that we can, get a result here, concatenated result. Then we can also see that the end destination was also concatenated here. So we use this, collective table and fed this table to various algorithms and got the result. So you can see that this is the, I guess, this is the metric that was obtained after, feeding the prepared data set to various algorithms, and this metric, as you can see, the score is 89% here. So we, discarded the these experimented models and, went ahead with the provided lasso lars for latitude and XGBoost for longitude prediction. Then, as you can see, since the demo was done, so we can go ahead with the difficulties that I encountered. So basically, the understanding the intricacies of the algorithm here, using data IQ was difficult to understand here initially, but and also, how the combination of those, how the lasso lars and XGBoost was working fine was also initially difficult, as there were many models, and how come only lasso lars and XGBoost work. But after experimenting with those models that were giving quite less efficiency, so since the bias was quite high, we found that since high bias, we can use more data, or we can improve upon the models, and the most efficient way of improving is using ensemble technique. So we use ensemble technique, and we after experimenting that after using ensemble technique, we can get best result for using lasso lars on latitude, and XGBoost we fed the error that we got from lasso lars and a sort of longitude data. Then we can also this is one of the suggestion that we can work on a larger data set, so that we can uh, improve upon the scope of the project. And since the data set only included 1500 rows, so it was pretty much prone to overfitting here. So that was that. In the experimented algorithms also, the overfitting was quite seen there. So lasso lars and XGBoost work quite well here, so as to perform various regularizations on to tune down the overfitting. And also, since as you can see, as you have already seen in the previous slides here, that the event time start and event time end here is not providing the best importance here to the end destination. So as you can see, the timestamps are not important for the destination here. So a destination with temporal dependency, if provided, then we can also explore using various time series algorithms like mentioned earlier, yeah, like ARIMA and exponential smoothing. So conclusions that we get here, the conclusions here are, we aim to predict the future location based on the given data of journey. So that data included journey timestamps and start location, and we have to predict the end location there. And we worked on the ensemble method that was suggested to us. Then that ensemble method provided the best accuracy that was possible here. So first we performed the lasso regression to get the latitude, and then we performed XGBoost to get the longitude. Then we also experimented with other algorithms as shown, but the accuracy was not even 90%. So we discarded those algorithms. Then we can easily conclude here that lasso regression and XGBoost currently give us the best accuracy on the provided data set here. Then if there are any questions, you can also contact me on this email ID. And these are the references here that were used. And thank you.
Okay,
Hello?
so I hope your presentation is done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your presentation was good. Okay, it was certainly better than most of the future presentation that we have. Your explanation was on point, well explained, a really detailed explanation on that. Okay, but your story can be improved. So what I would say is try to make a scenario type presentation, or when you are explaining the complex algorithm, try to use more examples. Simple example can help your viewers understand the complex thing really easily. Because most of the people who are watching your presentation, they might not be from the same domain, that is data science. So it will be hard for them to understand this, right? So try to explain the examples. PPT was well made, although the formatting can be improved. Content was really well made. Content was well thought of. Good content on that. Again, on the conclusion was also well done. You explained a lot of things in conclusion. You do a good job on that. But I would also say the accuracy that you got, you should have added in the conclusion.
Okay.
Although you did explain it, so that is fine. Again, the demo was also good. Okay, well done on the demo also. Overall, it was a really great presentation. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. If possible, can you share the data set with me? In the Zoom, can you upload the data set file, the CSV file with me?
Yes, sir. We have the Trello link here, so I can share that.
No, give me the downloaded CSV file.
Okay, sir. I'll try.
If not possible, you can also email it. Email it. See, if you can't say, send it on the Zoom, just email. Okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have the data set here download.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. I have provided the data set. Has it reached you?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on to Nikita Srivastav.
Sir, am I audible and visible?
Yeah. What is the name of your task?
Develop Hackveda business operation in Python on Google crawler and SMTP.
Yeah, sure. You can show.
Yeah, just a second. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nikita Srivastav, and I'm here to give my presentation on my first task, develop Hackveda business operations in Python, where I have been given two subtasks, Google crawler for digital marketing and sending email using Google, SMTP using Python. I'm currently pursuing my engineering and just entered my fourth year of graduation. You all can imagine the pressure and hustle we all had to go through at this point of time. Recently, this incident happened to me where in our college, a big service-based company just entered to recruit the students. And we were all informed about the situation just a day prior to the deadline. We all were in chaos, running from here and there, making new resume, applying for the job. Basically, it was all chaos and disorganization. Now, what if the same thing happens to me a day prior to my interview? Then what? Like every other student, I'll Google interview questions, right? Like Python interview questions. Then I'll be redirected to many side forums like Quora, Reddit, Microsoft, and then I'll only waste my time going from one side to another. Now, what if I say to you that the project I made, the Google crawler, is an automatic tool which grabs the information from different websites and present before us in one platform. Yes. Coming towards the content part of my Google crawler project, I'll first explain what is Google crawler. Then I'll come towards the implementation part, then the working, then code implementation, its advantages, difficulties during the projects, and finally the conclusion. So what basically is a Google crawler? A Google crawler is a program used by Google to explore and collect information from websites all over the internet. Google crawler is used to automatically discover and scan websites by following links from one web page to another. Google's main crawler are Googlebot or Spider. Coming towards the implementation part, first we'll install the required libraries like request, pandas, JSON, datetime. Then choose the websites to crawl. Then write the crawler, automate the crawler, and finally analyze the data. Now I'll explain to you the working of this project. First, a request has been made from the server to the web browser. Then the web browser will give the response to web scrap application. Now the web scrap application will extract data from the given response and then saves the data in the database. Coming towards the code implementation part, now I'll show you the code. Yes, so here I have imported request. Here I have imported different libraries. First one is the request libraries for HTTP request in Python. Then I have used pandas library to represent responses in tabular format. Then I have used JSON libraries for data representation during transmission. And then I have used datetime library. In datetime library is used to tell when the website is uploaded, to give us the time basically. So here I have created a question list where the user will be asked, where the questions will be asked by the user. Then a keyword is, then I have provided the keyword, which means which query the users want to keep. Then I have used two major websites, the Quora and the Reddit. Here I have used this Google URL, and this specific key is given from custom Google search. Then from this, a response is given, and the response is given to us in JSON format. Now implementing the code. I'll enter Python. Interview questions. So here I got the output. It gives us a list of questions. Now the top questions are the most searched questions from Quora and Reddit. Yes, this is the output. Now coming towards my presentation. So some of the advantages of Google crawler are the most relevant and best pages are selected to be at the top. Efficient crawlers provide the scope to the search engines, and it is less time consuming. Some of the difficulties during the project can be handling CAPTCHA. Websites may have CAPTCHA systems to prevent automated crawling, implementing CAPTCHA solving mechanism or handling manual interventions is necessary. Dynamic website search, website with dynamic content or JavaScript driven interfaces can make the data extraction more challenging. Rate limiting, web services often enforce rate limits to prevent abuse. Data quality and noise, filtering and cleaning the extracted data can be complex. Maintaining and updating crawlers, website changes over time, and regular maintenance and updates is essential for this project. Coming towards the conclusion part, the most relevant and best pages are selected to be at the top and relevant information is acquired. Although Google's main crawler is guided by complex algorithm, you may still navigate its behavior to make its advantage to your website. Now coming towards sending mail using SMTP. The contents of this project are sending email using, I'll explain what is basically SMTP and how is email sent using SMTP, its working, its requirements, code implementation, its difficulties, and finally the conclusion. So sending emails using SMTP. What is SMTP? A simple mail, SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is a protocol which handles sending email and routing email between mail servers. SMTP provides set of communication guidelines that allow transfer of mail over the internet. Its main responsibility is setting up communication between the servers, between the sender servers and the receiver servers. It worked as at application layer. It uses TCP and it's a connection-oriented protocol. Now coming towards its working, here this is the sender. This is sender's mail server. This is receiver mail server. Actually, I'm not my screen. Just a second. Yes. This is sender. This is sender's mail server. This is the internet. This is receiver mail server, and this is the receiver. So the sender will send the mail, and the mail will get to sender's mail server. Then from sender's mail server, the mail through the internet, the mail will go to receiver's mail server, and through POP, that is post office protocol, the receiver will receive the mail. Here you can see that SMTP is only working between sender and the receiver's mail address, and the post office protocol is the protocol in which SMTP works. Now coming towards the requirement, the requirements of this project are SMTP library. To send the mail, we do not need any external library. SMTP library is basically a library inside Python. It uses simple mail transfer protocol to send the mail. It creates SMTP client sessions for mailing. Now MIME is multi-purpose internet mail extension. Using MIME header, we can store the sender and receiver's information and some other details. Then we have used Google Gmail service. We are using Google's Gmail service to send the mail. Now coming towards the code implementation part. Just a second. Yes. So here I have used SMTP library. MIME libraries are used, and we have used encoder library. Now this is the content of the mail which I'll send to the receiver. Here we have used the sender's address, the sender's password. This password is given through two-factor authentication. Then the receiver's address. Then we have created an SMTP session where sender's address, receiver's address, basically the login detail has been given, and the text, that is this text, is shown here. Then we quit the session and print mail sent. Now running this project, it says mail sent. We'll check the inbox. Yeah, so I got this mail from Nikita Srivastav 10 This was my sender's address, and Nikita Srivastav, babu@gmail.com is my receiver's address. Now this is the content. Coming to towards my presentation. Now, some of the difficulties I faced during the project are MTP server configuration. Configuring the SMTP server settings like host, port, and authentication details can be challenging. Handling authentication, it is one of the main difficulties that is faced during the project. HTTP email formatting, constructing HTML content for the email body requires both the knowledge of HTML and CSS. So the senders need to have both the knowledge of HTML and CSS. Error handling and debugging, handling potential errors and exception that may occur during the email sending process, and implementing appropriate error handling and logging mechanism. So concluding the SMTP project, SMTP provides the easiest solution to send emails and messages to people all over the world. It is one of the main source of bulk emailing, and basically it is the only source of bulk emailing, and it is one of the most budget friendly forms to send bulk emails. These are the references I have used. If you have any question, thank you. This is my details. I'm done with my presentation, sir.
Okay, now I'm audible. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much. See, the presentation started really well. Okay, it was really good presentation, I would say. The storyline that you started was really good. It was catching. So your book is good and story is good, but the thing is, you need to work on your overall flow, right? Because your overall story didn't fit together with your entire presentation. That is because the flow was not really there, right? So start by saying your introduction, then the task introduction, and then let us say look at the story, and then or you can start by giving the table of content and then start with the story, so that it looks like people are following a timeline too, right? That will be much better, and it will be more flow. The flow will be much better. Okay,
Yes.
it will be more smoother. So work on that part. Other than that, see, you have talent for presentation as well as expression. So make use of it. After you do more practice, you will certainly get better. The conclusion can be improved. The demo was well done. Okay, so good luck on the demo. Next time also, I want to see this kind of demos next time, right?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Nikita. Okay, then next is Milind Rathore.
Sir, can I leave now?
Yeah, sure, you are free. Milind, can you share your email with me?
Yes, sir. What? Email
Yeah.
address.
Yeah, because I can't find your name in the list of scheduled presentation.
Okay, sir. Where I have to write the message, sir?
In the chat box, you will send the message.
I can't. Yes, sir.
You can send it to host. Yeah, everyone is to see.
Yes, sir. May I start with my presentation, sir?
No, you are not scheduled. Can you tell me the name of your task?
Yes, sir. Overview of the project synopsis.
Wait.
Hello, sir.
I can't find your scheduled presentation actually. Do one thing, click on schedule presentation. Okay. Your
Okay, sir.
presentation will be scheduled. Then on Tuesday, I will take your presentation first on 7 p.m. Okay. You don't have to raise
Is
the hand.
is it Sir, is it fine with us if I give my presentation today?
No, because if I don't have your name in the scheduled presentation list, then I will not be able to process this. If it is not processed, you will not receive score, and also your presentation will not be considered as completed, right? So there is no point in giving the presentation if you don't get the scores.
Okay, sir.
Right, so click on scheduled presentation, and we'll see. I will take your presentation if some technical issue not it is scheduling. I will take your presentation. I will directly talk to the organization. Okay, but still click on scheduled presentation. Then I will take your presentation. Okay.
Okay, sir. Then firstly, I will schedule my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's be clear.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are on.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I wanted the link again for the data set.
Actually, one guy shared the data set with me, right? So I will share it.
It would be great if you can share it through email, sir.
Okay, you give me your email.
Just a second. I'll type it in the chat box.
Yeah, sure.
I've sent it to you.
Okay, it is actually already 9:03. Okay, so I will end the meeting here. I will share the data set with you.
Okay,
And
sir.
then, if you
Sir,
have
also another thing.
Yeah.
I wanted an extension and a leave on Monday.
Yeah, sure. Monday, there is no meeting.
Acha,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Monday there would be no meeting, right?
Yeah.
But I would want an extension, sir, for the project.
How much like the extension you want?
Will 30th be okay, sir?
Period. That
Yeah.
will be see, talk to technical support chat. Let them know that you will be able to complete the presentation by 30.
Okay.
They will extend the deadline because
See,
it is too much, right?
Yeah. See, the thing is, sir, there has been I couldn't even get the data set. I was allotted the project of a very long time ago, and I do want to properly, thoroughly learn everything so that I can implement and make the presentation.
Do one
But-
thing. You can take your time,
Yeah.
but let the technical support chat know.
Okay.
And if you for some reason technical issue you don't get reply, you can email at support@hackveda.in. Okay.
support@hackveda.in.
Yeah. I will
Okay, sir.
type it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, you can send the email at this email. Okay. They
No
will
problem,
explain it, okay?
No problem. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
I will send the data support.
Yeah, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah.